It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in theaters, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hey, Jim.
Hey.
What are you eating?
Hey.
He's eating
I'm
stuff.
eating yogurt-covered raisins.
That sounds disgusting.
It sounds delicious.
And also we have the Merman, who's sporting a Deadpool Wolverine. That t-shirt's way too busy, man. I don't even know what's going on with that.
Because they're best buds.
Sounds like the CGI in 3D that you get. Perhaps when you watch a movie.
It's better than a certain movie we saw this week. I can tell you that that's for damn sure.
I'm not predicting anything. That's your job.
I'm just hinting at it.
So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
Well, thanks to all who've been supporting us. If you love our independent podcast, please like, subscribe, share, and give us a 5-star rating on your listening platform. Or join the Film Rage community by joining our membership at buymeacoffee.com/FilmRageYYC. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible film like we did get this week. David's back, people! David's back!
I couldn't find it. It must be
And
on
you
the streaming
can't
platform.
wait till we see what he has for us in store.
David's back. I don't even know what you're talking about. Who's David?
Who's David?
Isn't he our number one listener?
He's our number one listener.
David's our number one listener?
David and Friends.
David.
How did I not know this?
You know what?
You forget stuff.
Because
You're
you
old.
forget everything.
So why is he back? Did he give us something?
Oh,
What did he give us
just
before?
wait. You're going to find out.
Oh, okay. That is what's known as a tease.
It's a
That's right.
spoiler, yes.
Well, let's get to raging then.
All right, then.
What amazing moment.
Predict.
What amazing moment.
Predict.
Will he predict the rage or will he predict the
Mondo?
mondo? Will he tell us all what Jim and Bryce saw at the movies? Here he comes now, kids, watch your socks. He's coming swimming to you. Swimmery, swimmery,
Swimmery swim.
swimmery, swimmery.
Swimmery swim.
Swim all the way to our hearts.
Big
Yeah.
sigh.
Okay. So there were a bunch of movies, not
Yes.
including a certain 12-hour one that
There's a
That's right.
12-hour
one of
movie?
us didn't go to.
That's right.
One of
After
us
he
bailed
promised-
on the 12-hour
After
movie
he
marathon.
promised he was going to,
And we saved seats for him right up until midnight.
and
Just saying.
everything.
Yeah, I was going to actually send you guys at least some sort of...
With what? You're walking around phone? Oh, wait, you
No,
don't
no,
have one of those.
I have a phone that's connected to my wall. And it connects to you guys' walking around phones.
Yeah.
I can phone on that's connected to my wall, and I can connect with you guys on your phones that you put in your pocket.
I have yet to see that. Just saying.
Yeah, I've never seen it either. I've
Well,
never
I
seen him
tend
use his
not to phone anybody.
Anyway.
So, like we said,
Yeah. So.
And that's what it came down to. I was like,
Officially-
they'll figure it out.
do I actually use my phone? for
Yeah,
once?
to actually call my friends. No, I'm just going to stay home and
Thank God he
watch
pays
horse
for this.
racing all night.
Thank God he pays for this phone. that
Yeah,
he never
exactly.
uses.
Hey, I bought a ticket. I showed my support to Cuff
You
at
did.
least.
You
Not
did.
enough. Anyway, officially, there were 4 movies that you guys went to.
Yeah, well,
Not
and
including-
5
not including,
that I went
not
to.
including that.
Mm.
So we'll start with the big one, the big box office one. the
Okay. What was that one?
Venom: The Last Dance.
Oh, that's Tom Hardy. We love Tom Hardy.
You guys love Tom Hardy. I'm so with Tom Hardy.
Well, that makes no sense, but go on.
Yeah, having seen this and just knowing you
Okay.
guys, I almost
Mhm.
went with a meh for Bryce, but I think it's double rage.
Double rage.
Because if he likes it, I'd be surprised.
Huh, but I love Tom Hardy.
You do, but this
you
is
know
a
what?
superhero.
Nobody loves Tom Hardy more than me.
Yeah.
I said I would change my name to Mrs. Tom Hardy. I haven't heard you say that.
because I would not do that.
Then
what do
we
I care?
have Conclave, yet another religious movie about the Catholic
Yes,
Church.
Catholic Church movies.
You know how we are with Catholic
I
movies.
know you love your Catholics. beating up
No,
on
there's a
Catholics.
difference between a Catholic Church movie and a conversion film. This
No, it's
was
I didn't
not
say
a
it was
conversion film.
I didn't say it was
Kind of the
conversion. I said it was
opposite.
about
Yes.
the Catholic Church. That's different. Yeah, maybe Jim loved it, so let's say Mondo.
Ooh,
Bryce,
maybe he
maybe
loved it.
meh.
And I'm maybe a meh. Interesting.
Then we have Seeds. which
Seeds.
Jim and I went to, and you weren't there.
No, but I did go to it.
It was a fun little romp. It had a few issues, so let's go double meh.
Definitely had some issues.
And finally, Your Monster, which I know absolutely nothing about. In fact, you guys weren't looking forward to it, so what the hell? Double rage.
You're correct, sir. I was not looking forward to it.
I also was not. Although I was also not looking forward to other things. So
It's the only movie that me and Jim saw together.
Oh, there you go.
We got a private screening.
yeah, I almost got a private screening. Me and Murray got a private screening.
Of Seeds.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't get a private screening of Conclave.
Me neither.
And definitely didn't get a private screening of Venom last night. Both of those were actually pretty full. I was actually encouraged.
Oh,
by
we
that.
got lots to tell you about our screening.
Yes, we
with
do.
Venom: The Last
Oh,
Dance.
excellent.
Huge.
On that note, Venom: The Last Dance is a frustrating, uneven mess of a movie.
No.
What?
The hell you say?
In this latest chapter, some villain named Null, I don't know.
The K is
Se-
silent.
Canal sends some creatures with a lot of teeth to find a key that will unlock him from the void that imprisons him. That key happens to exist when our heroines, Eddie and Venom, become one. Why this makes them the key? I have no idea. So then from there, this becomes a road trip movie as buddies Venom and Eddie are on the run from government agents and extraterrestrial monsters.
Yeah.
This all culminates in a nonsensical battle at Area 51 where blurs of CGI emblazon the movie screen. This film may be one of the most internally polarizing experience I have ever had. As I will admit that I genuinely found a lot of these scenes very entertaining, but they're interrupted by derivative chasms that suck the air out of the project. Venom combining with a horse to supercharge it was great. The lift Venom and Eddie got from a family on their way to Area 51 was really fun. The dance number with Mrs. Chen in the penthouse of a Vegas hotel, fantastic. Every scene where Eddie and Venom are conversing with one another, they're all gold. I enjoyed the interaction between them. The problem is, every one of these scenes is cut short to focus on the boredom going on at Area 51. I absolutely loved much of this film, and I absolutely hated the rest. Still, the entertaining bits were entertaining enough to stop me from raging.
What?
Venom: The Last Dance was meh.
Oh. By the way, technically, it's a codex.
Whatever.
If you've seen Man of Steel, it's the same freaking plot.
I like the cameras where you take the picture and it develops before your eye.
Yeah. No. Codex. That's
Codex, yeah. You take the
D-
picture, it comes out the bottom.
the
You
DNA
usually
of-
wave it around,
No.
and then all of a sudden your picture
No.
develops.
Codex with
No.
a C. It's the DNA of an
No,
entire
it's
species.
Kodak. Kodak.
No, it's C-O-D.
Kodak's Camlers.
C-O-D-E-X.
Yeah, there's
Anyway,
an X.
Just
Oh, I have no idea what you're talking
Just
about.
like
obviously
there.
you didn't make the link between the two movies like I did.
I don't make links. That's not my thing.
He's not a linker.
Apparently not. Not too bright either, apparently, if you
All
like
right.
this movie.
Whatever.
Well,
I'm super bright.
let me
I
tell
enjoyed
you-
it. I
let me
enjoyed
tell you-
some of it.
My experience with Venom:
Please do.
The Last Dance.
Okay.
So, first things first, we had to watch this in 3D,
Oh no.
which even
And IMAX too, by the way.
and-
I did not have to do that.
well, so we didn't choose to watch it. More on that to come.
Okay.
So yes, we had to watch this in 3D, which even at the absolute best levels of CGI, is unwatchable. On top of that,
CGI was bad.
we have like 10 stories running simultaneously, which all pretty much go nowhere. I mean, I like Eddie and Venom well enough. They are cute together.
They are.
But the science in this sci-fi superhero
terrible.
film is subject at best.
Absolutely.
For most of this movie, I kept trying to fact check what is possible based on their, and I'm putting in heavy quotes here, previous worlds they created.
Yeah.
And the ending was so completely stupid. And there was also a pre-ending. Which was also stupid.
Yes.
So no, Tom Hardy, as much as I love you, superheroes are still, for the most part, a hard rage. And this is no exception. And I've got lots and lots to unpack, but I kind of want to know what Murray has to say about this.
Hey there, Merman. What do you have to say about this?
RoboCop 3. Blade Trinity.
Okay.
Hangover 3.
Yes. All
Austin
classics.
Powers Gold Member.
Oh, so you loved it.
Karate Kid 3.
Yes.
Spider-Man 3.
Yes.
That's the Toby version.
Oh, the Toby version was a little weird. at the
Beverly
end.
Hills Cop 3.
Kind of was.
There was a 3?
The Dark
old.
Knight Rises. The
yeah.
Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
Okay.
These are all 3s.
Taken 3.
Wait,
I am.
there's
Terminator
another.
3 Rise of the Machines.
We'll be
which
talking
Jim will be
about that
talking
later.
about.
Once again.
And X-Men Last Stand.
Yes. I loved X-Men
You
Last
think
Stand.
the studios would know better, or at least the stars who sign on.
Oh, wait a
for
second.
them.
You're saying those are negatives?
The third film in the trilogy is always bad. And although I strongly disagree, people actually add Return of the Jedi to that list.
Yeah, I would
Though
say
it
you
is
don't.
my favorite. of the
Why do we
three,
have
but-
little children's creatures running around when we should be having
it's a
murder?
small part of it. They get worse as the movies come along. You think the Ewoks are bad? Wait till you see the other ones. Should we have expected any more from Venom Last Dance? No. But Tom Hardy is so damn good that we went along for the ride. As part of the homework from last week, I watched the original Venom. It just so happened to be on network TV.
Yeah, we all had to watch
Wink
it.
and ink.
This
Well,
will
no,
be
I
good.
normally wouldn't, but it was actually on network TV. It still holds up. It's still a good movie. Maybe because it had Riz Ahmed and Michelle Williams as a love interest, and this one did not. For all its storyline flaws, the bromance road trip movie with Eddie and Venom had its fun moments, as Bryce said. There were a bunch of new characters, mostly mediocre. My favorite was Riz Ahmed, or however you say it,
Resafan. Yeah.
as the hippie dad who just wants to see an alien and have sing-alongs with his loving family. Too bad he didn't know he actually picked one up in his hippie mobile. The scenes with the family and Eddie were funny and heartwarming and short-lived. Now, as Jim mentioned, this film was in 3D. Thing is, it wasn't advertised as 3D. Nor did the staff know it was in 3D. Jim had to miss the first 10 minutes of the film, rounding up the special IMAX 3D glasses, and I spent most of the film trying to explain the story to him when he got back. That's not a good sign. Story was really bad. CGI fight scenes were horrible.
Yeah, that stuff was
And
bad.
The main bad guy didn't even show up
Whatever.
because Marvel is attempting to bring another villain into the multiverse. They shouldn't even bother because this one is lame. Yeah, this is one ooey gooey rage.
Huh.
Nice. All right, let's talk about some unpacking.
You do that.
First off, how horrible was this CGI?
It was awful, but who cares?
What do you mean, who cares? Okay, try not only watching it,
Yeah.
but then try watching it in 3D. The entire movie.
Here's what you do. Here's what you do. Here's what I did. Okay.
Okay.
Every time there was
Lessons with Bryce,
every
Bryce.
time there was a CGI scene coming up,
which was
all
90%
the
of the
time,
movie.
I would take my fists and I would rub them in my eyes as much as I could and get as many tears going as possible. And then when I opened up, I'd be all glassy-eyed.
Yeah.
And everything would be blurry anyways. And then I could just blame the bad CGI on the blur. And then it was fine.
Oh, okay.
Don't try that at home, folks.
Yeah, you know what? Why not? This guy's an optician. He knows what to do.
I know
Yeah.
eyes.
Sure, that doesn't harm your eyes at all. rubbing them really hard with your hands. Sure, no damage there.
Yeah, or how about...
Then you have to go see Bryce, and he'll sell you some glasses.
That's right, but not contacts.
Yeah.
So, okay,
Well,
so
I'll
how
sell
about
you
these...
contacts. I just won't be happy about it.
How about these creatures that are impossible to kill, but then are really easy to kill?
Yeah, at the end.
I don't know. I didn't get that.
No, you blow them up with stuff, and they just reassemble.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, if they're not easy to kill, then why were all the Venom people... What are they called again, Murray? The Venom people?
The
What were
Venom
they
people,
called?
the symbiotes.
Symbiotes, yeah.
yeah.
So why were the symbiotes
symbiote
so
army.
excited to go kill them when they knew they had no chance of killing them?
Yeah.
Because all of the symbiotes died.
Yeah.
It was like
well,
they're
you
all-
got to put up a fight sometimes.
But
Sometimes when the odds are against you and there's just no hope, you still got to fight, Jim.
okay. So this is all making sense to me now.
You're welcome.
How many stories was in this movie?
I don't know, like
they had like
5.
72 layers of characters, and none of them from the previous one. They had
Except for
they
Mrs.
put
Chen.
Yeah, they had Mrs. Chen, and they had the cop dude
Yeah.
who was in the second one.
All we
Was
need
he in the second one?
Yes, he was in the second one.
Was I don't remember him in the
Yeah,
second
so
one.
they don't explain anything.
Be the one that he got blamed
all
for
they
killing?
had to. Okay, yeah, I get all your problems with this.
Yeah.
And they really did need to cut out like all the fight
an
scenes.
hour
Yeah.
of this movie.
And this should have been just a road trip buddy movie where they end up in Vegas and, then they hang out with Mrs. Chen for a half
You
an
know what
hour.
would have been-
And the funny thing is, they even got the time wrong. Because on IMDb, it's supposed to be an hour and
Oh, don't even
50
get me
minutes.
started on
That's-
IMDb.
that's 50
Just stop.
minutes.
If you guys continue to make IMDb
I'm
the
just
fact
saying.
of facts,
I'm just saying.
all IMDb does is frickin' lie to you. IMDb is the most inaccurate website on the face of the freaking earth, and you guys keep on quoting IMDb
Just
like
saying.
it means anything.
It means
It's like,
everything.
it means nothing. IMDb gets everything wrong.
Sure they do.
They've never
That's
got-
all they get right.
They've never
is that
got
they're
anything
always wrong.
They've never got anything.
They never
wrong.
got anything wrong.
Except for everything you guys bring up every single IMDb said this. That wasn't right. No freaking kidding. Nothing on IMDb is right.
Okay, so let's get back to the movie because I still have more things to unpack.
Yeah, go ahead.
So why did they not explain anything to his girlfriend that he's still trying to be in love with? Are we just supposed to say, oh, you know, that ended in 2 and now... Because the entire time they were together, they even referenced it in this movie, was
Yeah.
only a year.
Yeah.
So it was only a year, like... Carnage was part of that year.
there's stuff
the initial part
happening,
was
man.
part of the year.
There's so much happening.
And like, so his girlfriend is freshly not his girlfriend.
Yeah. So?
Oh my God. There's so many things wrong with this movie. And the only thing that would have been...
Cineplex said an hour and 49 minutes. It was not. It was an hour and 30. Just telling you. They got that wrong too. That was my point.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
Which you know what?
Okay.
Cineplex matches.
And it was
Wait,
still
maybe
too long.
Cineplex gets its information from IMDb.
Maybe.
maybe.
And if that's the case, Cineplex needs to get their information somewhere else.
Yeah, you know what? There was. Here's the thing. If we took
That's the thing I
any-
like about Venom movies is I don't think any of them have been over 2 hours long. In fact, I think they've all been quite a bit under.
I think 2 was longer.
I don't think so.
You know what? It felt longer.
You know what? I'm going to check it out on IMDb.
You do that.
Yeah, why don't you do
Because
that?
I know that'll be right.
I am not going to check it out on IMDb because it is absolutely
What
incorrect.
source are you going to go to?
Who do you
then?
trust?
Well,
Tribute?
Just
Yeah,
mind your
Tribute's
business.
Tribute's definitely for sure right. They tell us the wrong thing every week about what
Yeah,
movies are coming out to our
exactly.
cinemas.
Anyway.
Yeah. So anyway, the
Okay,
only thing that could have
Stop
made this movie.
alienating every website on the planet
Speaking
Earth.
of alienate,
Yes.
the only thing that would have made this a good movie
Okay.
is if, to your point, they took out all the CGI, which would make this about 15 minutes.
I was okay with the Venom
had-
CGI.
had-
but as soon as they started battling, it was
No,
stupid.
you know what? In comparison to the previous CGIs in Venom, because I watched both of those, although I have no clue because we watched it in 3D, so who knows? But what I can tell you is that the only thing that would have made this a good movie is if when they went to Vegas, they just got on stage and did a stand-up act for another hour, and they took all the CGI out and all of the stupid plot that they had half created or half that went nowhere, and then threw in characters that have no backstory or anything important to say, or they don't even have. Once they start speaking British, and then the next thing you know, they're completely not British.
yeah. Which
And there
is
was this one
fine.
thing. No, there was nothing good about this entire movie.
No.
Except You're right about the horse. You're right about the dance scene.
Yes.
You're right about
hippie
one
family.
other thing.
The hippie family.
And the hippie family.
Exactly.
And that's it.
Everything
So
that
that's-
wasn't Area 51 or a battle scene was great.
So basically you're saying 12 minutes.
That's the problem. That
Made it
12
a-
minutes
made it a
should have been
map.
an hour.
Yeah.
And the
But
rest of it
wasn't.
should have been 20 minutes.
So that's what I'm saying. You can't judge the movie on
12
12
But I
minutes.
really enjoyed those 12 minutes.
So what?
Not enough.
It made it meh. I enjoyed it so much that it was meh.
You literally rubbed your eyes.
Yeah, you rubbed your
for
eyes and you missed everything
9/10
Yes.
of the rest of the
because
movie.
the CGI was irritating.
Okay, so just so
And
everybody's
the
clear.
fight scenes were irritating.
So all
So
of
he
our
didn't actually watch the CGI. That's what
but the
he's
rest of it was
saying.
good.
he also didn't watch a lot of the movie.
By the way, there will be
Yeah.
Let There Be Carnage, hour and 26 minutes.
There you go.
there you go. So
Just saying.
all that being said, this movie was horrible.
Yeah.
I never want to see another fucking Venom movie as long as I live.
I don't think you will.
I want to see the Venom movie that I want to see.
Which is
With
with him and
Spider-Man?
Spider-Man.
Well, what? No, I just want Venom and
Tom Hardy's character.
Yeah, what? Eddie.
Eddie Brock.
I want Venom and Eddie to just
Do a
travel
stand-up
around the
routine.
country,
The road
talk to
trip.
some people, go for a road trip,
And have nobody chasing
stop at some diners,
Eat some
I don't-
bad people.
Eat a few people.
eat a few people.
That's the movie I want to see.
That's the movie.
And because it's not that, it's a horrible mess of a movie.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why it's a rage.
Of course.
Yeah, but there's aspects of that in it which made
Yeah,
it
okay.
watchable.
This
Not
is
enough.
just going in
It's
a
not enough.
circle jerk that isn't pleasurable.
All right, move on.
So we're going to move on to Conclave,
which is a totally
Murray.
different kind of movie.
which also has some circle jerk in it.
Does it? Well,
Just
then.
put that out there.
Glad I missed it.
I
So,
didn't see that part.
well, there is
Maybe you're
reference
rubbing
to
your
it.
eyes again.
There is, yeah, maybe you were covering your eyes. There wasn't a lot of
No,
CGI
I-
in this movie, though.
My eyes
I
were
wouldn't
wide
think- I wouldn't
open.
think so.
Okay, so Conclave. This is a story. From the moment I saw the trailer, I was interested in what this is going to bring me because I had no
Okay.
clue based on the trailer. Nothing.
Well, you had a clue. You knew
I
it
had
was
a-
about the conclave.
Because that's the title of the movie. But I had no clue what was going to happen
No,
in this movie
absolutely.
whatsoever. Even when they brought out the second trailer, which pissed us off.
Yes.
Remember when they did that?
It should never bring out more than one
No.
trailer. And the first trailer should be 30 seconds long and reveal nothing.
Nothing.
Tell you nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Just some scenes that you'll go, wow, I can't wait till I
Some
see
scenes,
that.
and let's say starring Joe Blitzflix, directed
And-
by Johnny Johnson, and move
bam,
on.
There we go. So, first off,
That'll make you see it.
yes! This is a masterclass in performances by a cast of brilliant, and I'm saying brilliant actors all at the top of the game, which is led by the amazing Ralph Fiennes.
Rafe.
Ralph Fiennes. I don't know why I can't pronounce his name.
Wow,
It's spelled Ralph.
Because it's Ralph. Let's face
It's
facts. but
spelled Ralph.
He tells us it's Rafe, and who am I to argue?
Yeah.
Yeah, he can
exactly.
call himself whatever he
It's
wants.
his name.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know fully
Mm-hmm.
if this is what a conclave is actually,
Who cares?
but I didn't care.
Exactly.
Because
Who
this was
cares?
the most incredible suspense-ridden story I have seen in years. And unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
it does, well, maybe fortunately, I don't know, depends who you are. It does not paint the Catholic Church in a very great light. So the fact that we learn
I thought it was kind
through
of
the
Bad.
interviews, through the interviews,
good and bad. In
from the director and whatnot before this,
yes.
that they did have people from the Catholic Church who do give input. I wonder if they saw the movie.
I would think that a lot would be okay with it. I don't think it was
Oh,
as derogatory as you're making it out to be.
I am 100% sure the Catholic Church would not be happy with this movie.
A percentage of it, yeah.
Yeah, how about all of them?
How-
So the music.
Hey, what about... Okay, go ahead.
Okay, the music and score is craftfully written and adds a whole other layer of intrigue and suspense to an already nail-biting experience. Who would have thought watching creepy old men writing names down on a blotter for 2 hours could be so entertaining? And when the first ending hits us, we're satisfied. Let's face it, we're satisfied. But definitely, I can say, when we got the real ending
Okay.
and puts a spin on this story that would turn the entire church on its ear, I almost stood up in the cinema and cheered. The ending
Really?
of this is so
perfect in every single possible way.
I don't know.
This is my second favorite film that I have seen this year.
Wow.
It is Mondo. I loved absolutely every single thing about this movie. I have some to unpack. But
Hey, if there's any, by the way, if there's any Cardinals out there like Lawrence or Bellini or Benitez,
there is 100%.
I think they'd be okay with this movie.
I'm fairly certain there's a Lauren Cardinal out there. Just saying.
Now, Cardinal Tremblay and Adeyemi, and they would absolutely not, and Tedesco, he would absolutely not be okay with this movie. But I don't think that the whole Catholic Church would be offended by this movie.
But here's the thing, though. Okay, so I
Yes.
don't want to say any spoilers because there's so many things that can be spoiled in this movie.
Uh-huh.
But I will say, I can't imagine that the Catholic Church wants everybody to know that this is here, considering
Their inner
they tried
workings.
to hide child molestation for 50 years under the rug without success.
And,
So,
and
the fact-
green goo in the basement. They hid that for 50 years.
Yeah, that's right.
too.
They hid the green goo.
That was a different movie, Murray.
Still,
saying,
there's
it's still
still.
Catholic
You don't think
Church.
there's green goo hiding somewhere in?
Someone's
in the
got some out there
Popesville?
somewhere.
I think
In
there's...
Popesville.
Someone's got the evil goo in the basement somewhere.
All right. Well, what else do you think of Conclave?
I don't know. Conclave is a combination of superior actors and dynamic dialogue that has you engaged from the opening scene.
Hey, that's what I said.
Not exactly. The film is also gorgeous to look at, from the stunning architecture to the staging of each frame, whether that be the visual of the Cardinals from above as they draw their umbrellas, as the rain comes down, or a shot of cigarette butts on the ground. Every shot has a mesmerizing quality. The outcome of the conclave is pretty obvious early on as we are introduced to a late addition to the conclave just before they are sequestered. Still, the journey is still filled with tension, even though it is obvious how this will end. Although, after they decide on a new pope, we get one more twist that I could have taken or left. I wasn't as...
No, I was like, this
I was
is...
fine with it. I was
No.
like, okay. But I wasn't getting up
No,
cheering like
this-
Jim.
No, this was the best ending that
Still,
could
this
possibly
this
happen.
was an excellent movie, and while I am not religious in the least, for some reason I find movies about religion quite fascinating. Now, that is the ones that aren't trying to convert me.
Yes.
But movies that are objectively just about religion, pulling up the curtain, showing stuff, it's always interesting. This film was Mondo.
Oh.
It was
It's
so
unbelievably-
it is really, really good. And as you mentioned, the music is like there's nothing you can really nitpick at in this movie.
There's nothing. Not one thing.
And just the pace,
The turns. There's so many turns in this
Yeah.
story. And I'm just like...
Yeah, as I say, and here's and not everybody watching this will think early on, okay, I know exactly who's going to be Pope at the end of this.
Yeah.
But even if you do, it doesn't matter. You still feel the tension of every single frame of this film, and it doesn't lag. There's no boring parts of
Not
this
one
film.
boring part of the whole movie.
This is just such a good movie.
I can 100% guarantee that nobody watching this movie will predict the ending. No one.
Well, the ending, yeah.
Yeah. No one.
I predicted the ending, but not the ending.
So I kind of predicted the ending because I turned to my wife and I go, wouldn't this be funny?
Yes.
And then it was kind of that.
Yeah.
So...
And the way that it kind of ended, and it wasn't what we're almost led to believe is the ending, and it wasn't as big a spectacle as you might think. I'm thinking, okay, something else is coming.
Yeah, but you have the thing
But you
is you have to
didn't- you didn't
understand
know.
the Catholic
Yeah,
Church,
but you
right?
didn't-
Like the fact that one of my favorite actresses, but one that apparently you don't love as much as I do, who has also a stunning performance in this.
Rossellini?
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
Well, I love Isabella. Why
You
don't I?
don't like her as much as I do. Let's face it. I tried to put her on the Mesmerized list, and you said no.
Well, she's not mesmerizing, but she's awesome.
She's mesmerizing.
The thing is, Isabella.
Although she wouldn't have won in this
Isabella,
one.
exactly. Isabella Rossellini is mesmerizing. However, not always. She has
Apparently
had
not
some roles
Apparently
where
in this movie she wasn't. But
Well, she wasn't,
but,
yeah.
You know, her
she
big
still
part of the whole
was- She
movie.
was so good.
Her big part of the whole movie is that, you know, even though I'm not a man, You know,
Yeah.
I still got eyes and ears, and I have a voice,
Yes.
right? So,
But probably not a vote.
yeah, well, 100% not a vote.
Not a vote, but she definitely had a hand.
She had
in,
power.
Yeah.
She had some power.
She voted. Trust me, Murray. She made a statement for everybody to hear that she absolutely swayed the way this was gonna go.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But yeah, no, that's Sister Agnes. She was awesome. But yeah, this was so like this was an amazing movie. Like
Yep.
I went in I honestly thought I was gonna like it just because you look at the cast and you're like, okay, there's gonna be some stuff here, but I didn't
yeah.
realize I was gonna like it this much.
Well, I've never seen a movie like this, really, that because it's deep seated in all the pomp and circumstance that surrounds
Yeah.
the conclave, and we all know about it. We all know about the black smoke. We all know about the white smoke. Everybody, like
Yeah,
even
yeah.
who's not Catholic, when
Yeah.
when they're poping around making pope changes.
when they're doing the popey thing.
Yeah, they tell us, you can't walk down the street and throw a rock without hitting a Catholic around
Trust
you.
me, I know.
Yes.
I worked arts and broadcast TV, and I sat there at 4 o'clock in the morning waiting for the goddamn pile of smoke.
Yes.
Yeah.
CNN had it live, but we had to keep cutting to it.
This is CNN.
There's gonna be a smoke.
It's like, oh no, wait, no,
Oh,
not this time.
Well, you know what,
It's
Murray?
black again.
When you eventually see
Try
this
watching
movie,
it live at 5 in the morning. That's all I'm gonna say.
when you see
Sounds
eventually
awesome.
see this movie,
No.
which everybody
especially
in
getting
the world
paid to do it.
should see this movie,
No,
you'll know why that it
not
goes on black.
for me.
Yeah, pacing was fantastic.
Yeah.
The whole Catholicness of this was fantastic. The visuals, as you mentioned, were
It
so
was
completely.
just a
every
beautiful
single
movie.
scene is so beautifully shot.
Yeah.
Actually, both my wife and I walked out of the cinema and we both looked at each other and said, "Wasn't that the most beautiful film you've seen in a long time?" And I'm just
so-
like, "Heck yeah!"
I gotta say, I was mesmerized by the shot of the cigarette butts. Like literally, I was like, "What a unbelievably good shot that is!" Like, and then they'd move to the next thing, and the next thing. It's like sometimes I was distracted a little by how beautiful the movie was. Yeah. But you're getting that in combination with some of the best performances you're
Yeah.
gonna see, some of the most stellar writing you're gonna see. Like just everything just fits so good. It's just a great movie.
What was cool for me was that as we're there, my wife's also going, "We were there, because we've been to the Vatican,
You
right?"
are
So-
a world traveler.
Yeah, I get a lot of that with Kim whenever there's a movie that's taking place somewhere she's been. She tells me all about where
I
she's
don't
been.
travel.
It's like, okay.
which makes you tied to the story maybe a little more.
Ah.
All right, well, that's enough about the Catholic faith.
Yes.
Let's talk about planting some seeds.
All right. So Seeds is a film about a Mohawk woman who takes a job as an online influencer, whatever the hell that is,
She's already one. She just signs with somebody.
for a seed and fertilizer company named Nature's Oath. This job, and I'm using heavy quotation marks, turns out, because I still don't think it exists. That's just
Probably
There is like
I'm
millions
sure
of
there
them
are
out.
real companies that exist just
whatever.
like them.
That makes no sense to me. Online influencer. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Oh yeah.
Turns out to be different than she had thought, this company, Nature's Oath, and they may have ulterior motives. From here, things got pretty silly, and although I agree with the message, this is another movie that
Potato.
beats you in the face constantly for almost 90 minutes with that message. I don't like getting preached to this hard. Please make a movie that's sort of entertaining in between as well. I feel there was a good movie in this mess that I witnessed, but the film needed to go all the way with the ridiculousness or tone it down a little. It kind of was right in the middle there for the longest time. Still, the last 30 seconds may be on a short list of best last 30 seconds of any movie ever.
And
So, and with your math,
So that
your
makes it
math,
meh.
of course,
there you go.
there you
Because the last 30 seconds was like,
I
okay,
got one right.
you know what? This was pretty much worth the journey of boredom that I experienced, so I could experience the last 30
And it
seconds.
was only 80 minutes. It was a short movie.
And it was a quick romp, absolutely. And don't get me wrong, I like the last 5 to 10 minutes of it,
Yeah.
but I felt that it didn't fit with the previous 70 minutes as well as it should have. I didn't I didn't see the progression to that point.
Yeah, you know what?
But that last 30 seconds, man, that was great.
5 minutes,
Gold.
but concentrated in the last 20 seconds.
But yeah, this literally the last, like all the other stuff with the, that was
whatever.
good, but it didn't make sense to me. But the last 30 seconds, I could care less about everything else because that was frickin' Mondo.
All right.
Unfortunately, there was the rest of the movie as well.
All
So
right, well,
it was
there
meh.
you go.
Bryce math. It was-
Yeah, and Bryce math.
Yeah.
All right, so Indigenous Home Alone meets Monsanto meets TikTok.
Yep.
But with a super cute cat named Potato, who lived hard and died young.
Yep.
And when the fabulous Graham Greene tells you to go fuck up some bad guys, you gotta get
do it.
shit done.
You gotta listen to Uncle G.
That's right, Uncle G. The story gives us a taste of the North Bay Indigenous community and how valuable their seeds are to their culture and legacy. We get to learn don't fuck with a badass Native woman who's protecting her crops and avenging her cat. Oops, did I just let that out? But also, if you do, something real bad might happen to you. That's all I'm going to say. This really isn't much of a story here that we haven't heard before, and there are a few gaps in the whole focus of this film, but I do love ladies who kick ass and punch dicks, I'm not going to lie.
Yep.
And there is a message here, which Bryce has said was rammed down our throats, which is do not sell out to evil white men, which I always suggest if you're given the opportunity to never do that.
I totally agree. I 100% agree with the message.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to be hammered over the head.
See, I'm okay with it.
Make your point.
Yeah.
And let's actually write a good story.
See, I was okay with them continuing to
was
hammer
okay with
that
it, too.
point home.
All right.
As Murray and I were sitting there, I'd go, see, this is what's happening to your community. And he's like, you know what? I almost got him to go back and get more in touch with his roots. Almost. I don't think all of it was, that it wasn't a great movie, let's face it. But I think there is enough in here to have me hope
Yeah, 30 seconds.
that I can't pronounce her first name, but it's Kanahei
Just call her Tio. Tio Horn.
Tia Horn? Is
Tio
that what it is?
Tio Horn.
She kind of
Tio
goes by?
Horn. I think it's. Yeah.
I hope she keeps making Indigenous stories that contain her language and some Indigenous musicians, which we also got, and Canadian alt bands. Plus, the ending, as Bryce has already alluded to, which alone deserves to make this film all the way to a meh.
That's what happened. The ending made it a mess.
The ending is so good.
Yes.
And I would say, as you had said, there was funny parts in. I was enjoying the moments with Potato. I enjoyed moments with her and her cousin.
Yeah, the dumbass.
Yeah. So, yeah, I didn't hate it as much as you. But I also didn't think it was that great. What'd you think, Mur?
It's my house. I have to defend it.
Yes!
Where have I heard that before?
That's right.
It'll come to me, I'm sure. Once again, Bryce was a no-show on Movie Monday. I actually had no intention of seeing this film, mostly due to budget limitations. But I also had planned on seeing Venom on Cheap Tuesday in my own neighborhood. But plans change, and I had a chance to hang out with my buddy Jim for the whole day.
Yes!
Since our double feature had an early end time, I was able to see both. Because I don't do late nights, you know that.
Yep. Sleepy time, Murray.
First of all, Graham Greene is the man. 72
OG.
years old and still a legend on screen. It wasn't really his film, but Uncle G was as awesome as ever. The writer / director / star of the film, whose name I can't pronounce, was simply a badass. Kind of naive and not too bright, but a badass. This movie was basically a Home Alone homage.
She's a warrior.
And, oh yeah, that's where it's from. And she has to defend her family's seeds from the evil corporation that she mistakenly chooses to work for and leads to her family's reservation land. The first 45 minutes, like most films, was a bit slow. Luckily, it was only an 82-minute film. And the last 20 minutes did not disappoint.
No.
The lesson we should learn from this film is don't piss off a Mohawk woman because they always get revenge.
Yes.
In the worst possible ways. It was suspenseful, thrilling, and short enough that you don't get bored. It was a meh. Yeah, it wasn't perfect, but it was enjoyable.
You know what that means.
I do know what that means.
What does it mean?
Means that.
Means we actually agreed for once.
We all agreed, perfectly agreed. that the last 20 seconds was the best 20 seconds
So good.
of this
I
week.
enjoyed more than just 20
It
seconds.
really was.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not the best way,
Yeah,
but it
maybe
was,
the last 20
it was-
minutes in Conclave was also the best.
Yeah.
They're both equally good
No.
in their own way.
No. But yes, the
different
20
ways.
last 20 to 40 seconds was really good.
Yep. All right.
And then the way it just bam faded to black and we're done.
It was just
That
like,
was
yeah,
just
don't piss
perfect.
around. You made a perfect ending.
It was a perfect
Don't
ending.
mess with
and
it.
she didn't mess with it. So kudos to her
Yeah,
for that.
I can't wait to see what she does next.
I am excited to see what she does next because I do see some flashes of brilliance
Yeah.
in there, but we'll see.
Well, you know what? In the interviews I've saw of her, like this was her homage to Home Alone.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Yeah, she wrote it and directed it, and she was in it. So yeah, it was her baby.
yeah, it's good. All right, we saw Your Monster. Okay, so the monster was pretty funny. His timing was spot on, and there was a couple of scenes with an Amazon driver that were also very funny.
Oh yeah, I like the Amazon driver.
Yeah, he was awesome. The music was really well placed, and also great choices for the feel of each scene that they fit into. So the music part actually did add to this story.
Okay.
But about 15 minutes into this, you soon realize that, firstly, monsters don't wear clothes. And this is just another version of Beauty and the Beast. But in this one, we have a beauty who's a whiny, stupid idiot, like most Beauty and the Beast movies. And we've got the Gaston-like ex-boyfriend is the same as you find in any Gaston-like character. And the Beast, I didn't really understand about the Beast. I didn't understand the whole universe that they created for the Beast. I just didn't get it. So, as expected, yes, she does fuck a monster. And this story is like every other stupid
Sort of.
rom-com ripoff, Beauty and the Beast, only in this case, we get a monster. So, for the first 15 minutes, this was on its way to not having me be annoyed. But then, the rest of the movie happened. They also tried to, and I'm putting this in heavy quotes, fight club us at the end, but it was way too late to have any true value whatsoever. This movie was horrible. There was parts of it that were funny, but unlike Bryce, even if it was 10 minutes of funny monster, this was still a horrible, horrible, awful, terrible, smelly, poopy movie. I hated it. It was a rage.
All right, your monster is about a girl named Laura who is dumped by her boyfriend who leaves her in the middle of a cancer treatment. She then moves into her mom's house where she finds a monster living in the closet. From there, with her monster's help, Laura starts her life again, gaining the confidence to do things she would not be able to do without the help of her monster. She also learns about self-love, and I mean she really learns how to love herself. Anyways, nothing really lands in this. The story is underdeveloped and very predictable. The twist ending was more like a foregone conclusion, and overall, this whole experience was just kind of irritating. My monster was a rage.
Oh, what? I thought you
No.
liked the monster. You thought it was funny.
Yeah, you liked the monster, thought he was funny too. That doesn't make this a good movie there, Jimbo.
Wait, can we just go back to Venom: The Last Dance?
Two different scenarios.
Kind of the same.
Yeah, but this was a rom-com, and that was a
Plus,
romance.
there's a level of enjoyment that I reached with Venom in those scenes that even in my monster's best scene didn't come close to that level. So stick your
Finger in a light socket?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't really want to say much more about that.
Yeah,
but
there's
there is-
nothing to talk
There is a
about.
button that
It's-
Murray has to push twice.
Rage.
All right. Well, Jim and I actually attended the Cup 12-hour
Yeah, we did.
Halloween movie madness thing.
Marathon.
Marathon. Yeah, the whole big schmozzle. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And it was friggin' sold out, and there were so many people there.
Yeah.
It was nuts.
There was people standing at the back.
Yeah, the
so-
first movie which we're going to talk about.
Well, you guys are saying sorry, this seat's saved.
I was sitting in Bryce's seat, saving it for him. We had two seats next to us, saving one for you. And yeah, there were at least 20 people. I counted.
Is
at
that
the end
seat
of the
taken?
movie.
Yeah,
It is.
we
No,
think he's coming.
They didn't ask, but no, they just stood at the back in front of the exit door, by the way. So you couldn't even get out of the theater. So yeah.
Nice.
All right. So the first movie.
Cuff overselling
Wait,
an event.
so this is still part of our in cinema events, right?
yeah.
This isn't your Merman Minute,
No,
right?
no. This is
Okay,
it's
good.
at the end of our list here. And
Nice.
I was going to switch music, but that's still a movie. So
It's not even on my agenda.
That's because you didn't see it. Anyway, the first movie, which I missed, of course, the first 10 minutes because I was, helping to do stuff, called Frankie Freako.
Frankie Freako.
At a workaholic yuppie, Connor. He's boring as shit. And his girlfriend goes away for the weekend, and he calls this party line and gets these demonic puppets over, and they trash his house. And it kind of goes from there. There's a demonic hell dimension made up of puppets that they travel to. Yeah. This was really stupid. It really was. So many things about this. Like, oh my God. It's like, I guess if you like puppets and movies and carnage is good, but it wasn't like real carnage. It was
Puppet
carnage. So there wasn't blood, not like Chucky, right? Yeah, it was sort of funny, but it was very stupid.
That's what its point is.
I couldn't get it above a mat. It was just ridiculous, but everyone enjoyed it.
Well, let me tell you a quick story about.
I think I could have watched this,
You probably could have.
even if I didn't go to the,
Maybe you still can if you can find it.
because it looks like it might be available to rent.
There you
Sweet.
go.
All right. Well, all I want to say is Shabadoo.
Shabadoo.
It's time
My
to
favorite line.
It's time to get freaky. Frankie Freako freaky. It's a comedy puppet horror, and it kind of felt like a trauma film, actually,
Yeah.
with its
be
completely idiotic humor.
Yeah.
I laughed a lot through
I know
this
you
movie.
did.
I had a lot of fun with this. The movie's terrible, let's face it, and for the most part, it's really stupid.
Yeah.
But you know what? I really, really had a good time watching this. So the movie I would say is a meh, but the experience I had
Mondo,
watching this was
yeah.
definitely a Mondo.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if I would have watched this at home, it wouldn't have been the same at all.
No, you wouldn't.
No, you had to see it. In
You know, the
theater
funniest-
full of people.
Because I could totally watch this right now. It is available.
There you go.
So if you want to watch Frankie Freako, you can
You can
get
rent
it
it.
through Apple.
Look for it.
Nice.
There you go.
So the funniest thing about this whole thing, though, is there was a lot of people in this. Like, there was even kids, like
Yeah.
8, 9 years old, that went to this thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there was two kids. I would say they're
But they weren't
probably in their early 20s.
There was maybe 3 swear words in the whole movie. So
Yeah, it wasn't- I mean, it wasn't-
kid
it wasn't-
friendly, but
yeah.
it wasn't scary or
Yeah.
gory. So
And at the end, these two people that were sitting beside us leaned over. Well,
yeah.
they didn't lean over to us, but they leaned over to each
you
other.
heard
and
them.
like,
Yeah.
this is the best movie I've seen in a long time.
really?
They loved it.
They loved it.
So, you know what? If you want some stupid comedy
Stupid,
and
absolutely
puppets,
absurdist, ridiculous.
and a guy that goes, Shabadoo.
Shabadoo, my
He
favorite
also,
guy.
he also
Shabadoo.
says, Shabadoo.
Shabadoo.
Sounds pretty good.
You know, I had a good time.
I
think
loved him.
I think knowing you probably would have hated this, though.
Yeah,
Really?
Because
maybe.
you know who directed it. You didn't know a big
Yeah.
fan of their work.
Not
So,
so far, but that
it's-
doesn't mean,
yeah.
Anyways.
All right then.
Oh, baby.
Well, since I already did the really bad trilogy movies, I guess I'd do something else. It took me 2 weeks, but I finally got through Doctor Sleep. I have never seen The Shining. No idea what it was about, except that Jack goes crazy and tries to kill his family. That's all I know about it.
That's pretty much it.
I guess there was some supernatural stuff in there too.
With the Shinnin.
Yeah, with the Shinnin. People are shiny. And apparently they have steam. I'm sure fans of the original film probably hated it, and with good reason. Fake Jack Nicholson. Fake Shelley Duvall. I know for a fact both actors were alive when this movie was made. I'm guessing they wisely said no to returning for what was supposed to be a sequel.
I like Dr. Sleep.
I
It sounds like it's going to be negative.
Yeah, I love Dr.
I'm not
Sleep.
done yet.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
I'm just saying if you like the original, maybe you don't like this one as
I
much.
love both of them.
Because they recreated
And
a lot
they're-
of...
and they're
very
both
different.
very different.
Yeah.
They're both very good.
My reasons for watching this were twofold.
You use?
Ewan McGregor, probably my favorite all-time actor. Yes, more than the Ryans and Russell Crowe.
What?
Love everything he does.
What about Ben Affleck?
That's at the very bottom of his list.
Keep that
What?
name out of your mouth or I'll have to throw something
Yeah.
at you.
But he's the finest actor of mine or anybody else's generation.
You keep
Maybe
that
your
you keep that
generation.
name out
That's
of
right,
my
you keep-
wife's mouth or
Yeah, you
something like
keep
that.
That name out of my ears. 'Cause I don't want to hear it.
I'm
The second
confused.
reason, the absolutely mesmerizing Rebecca Ferguson.
She was great.
She was easily my favorite part of the last 3 Mission Impossibles, which is why I was so pissed off at the end of the last one. But I digress.
I don't even remember any of the Mission Impossibles.
Well, that's just
I
you didn't
remember
like
them all.
They're just
Just
so
saying,
bad.
I loved her character. I liked her in those movies.
Yep.
This story definitely had some problems.
What?
The whole killing children and eating their steam.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
WTF was up
I
with
like it.
that?
It's cool.
That's
I
the steam eating.
just didn't get it. It's safe to say little Danny Torrance had some inner demons. And I enjoyed watching Ewan deal with all that. The little girl is pretty good too, acting well beyond her years. They also had good on-screen chemistry, good power duo. Rebecca Ferguson was simply badass. Pure evil in a cute hat and haunting blue eyes that sparkled when she was devouring souls.
Yes.
She was terrifying, but delicious. I was mildly disappointed by the end, but it was still a satisfying final fight scene. Did I love it? No. I could never hate Ewan McGregor film. This was far from his best. Rebecca Ferguson, I could literally watch her read a phone book and be entertained. As slow as this film was, and it was way too long at 2.5 hours, I had to stop and finish the rest the next day. It was a mildly suspenseful meh. I don't know about recreating all the original Shining scenes with new actors, though. I guess AI hadn't become a thing then, but
Maybe.
yeah, it was.
I love
alright.
this film.
It was alright.
It
I
was.
mean, I'm not really into horror films.
I think it could have gone for another
scary.
hour. I would have been
No, it was
happier.
way too freaking long. But no, as Simon said, I enjoy Ewan McGregor, so yeah, I can watch him in a 3-hour movie if I
There you
had
go.
to. But so yes, I finally got a chance to see it. If I wasn't doing this, I would go see The Shining, which is playing tonight.
Nice.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
All right. My rage is real simple. Cineplex.
Yep.
So I made a commitment to myself to go to movies in IMAX whenever they're available. Because I figure if there's going to be a movie that deserves to have an IMAX, we should see it in IMAX. So I said, Murray, we're going to go see the new Venom film in IMAX. When I bought my ticket, it said IMAX. We get there, and the movie starts, and actually, it only gave us like 20 seconds. Because usually the trailers, if it's going to be a 3D
yeah, so
movie,
put on your glasses now, or
yeah, or it'll give you trailers in 3D.
Yep.
So none of that happened. The movie just started and it was in 3D. So me and this other lady who brought her
with
two
her
kids,
yeah.
ran out to speak to somebody. I'm like, this is in 3D. And they're like, what? It's not supposed to be. I'm like, well, I don't care. It's in 3D. Either stop it and put on not 3D,
Non-3D.
which I never wanted in the first place.
Yeah.
So then after we saw the movie, both me and her, well, we missed the first 10 minutes of the movie. So already I'm pissed. And then when we come out afterwards and I'm trying to explain it to the manager, I'm like, I didn't buy a ticket for 3D, and I would never go to a 3D movie in IMAX.
what
And
did
she's
she-
like,
what did
but
she
it
say?
says she had this piece of
Check
paper.
your ticket.
She has this. No, she had a piece of paper, and she says, but it says it's in 3D. I said, I don't care what it's saying in here. Take a look at my ticket. And the other lady was with me, and she's like, yeah, take a look at my ticket. We did not buy anything in 3D. And the lady's like, I wouldn't have brought my kids to see 3D movie. They're too young for it. So anyway, we had to fight to get any reparations for how terrible of an experience it was. And literally, I'm not kidding you. Like we know how bad CGI can be, where it's a blur. It literally in 3D is watchable.
It is.
You don't have a clue about anything.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, why anybody would want that is beyond me. So anyway, Cineplex, you dropped the ball both on this, but also on the fact that, when someone comes to
Bad
you,
customer service.
yeah, we have bad customer service. Just give them their money back or whatever. Like, don't get into an argument.
Well, if
And
it was in the IMAX theater, did they not have like someone taking the tickets there and saying you need 3D glasses?
Don't even
they
find
didn't.
her.
They didn't know it was in 3D.
What in the hell is going on? over
Yeah,
there?
don't know.
exactly. So she had it on a piece of paper, but it wasn't.
Yeah, it's on her official document from Cineplex.
That's
So that's all she goes by.
fantastic.
But if you go onto the website
Yep.
to buy the tickets, it doesn't say 3D.
And also, when we came out, after they knew that we had 3D glasses,
Yeah.
there was no place to put our 3D
There was no
glasses.
bin to put them.
So
I just-
people,
I
people were
literally,
just
I literally handed mine to like the guy who was taking tickets on one of the sides. I went to use the bathroom and I said, "Yeah, here's the glasses. What I don't know where to put them." So I just dropped them on his little podium there.
So
and left.
here's an extension to that.
Yeah.
Stop making 3D movies.
Oh.
They're just horrible.
Yep.
Like if you're gonna make a nature film in 3D where it's slow moving, sure,
Yeah.
maybe that would work out. But if it's an action movie, don't put them in 3D. They're just horrible.
Yeah.
And this new X that's coming,
Oh god!
they had
yeah.
all the
Oh, yeah.
boxes there. to
Yeah, we
unpack
went to use
X.
the bathroom, and there's literally
Now there's
10
a-
boxes that all said "Screen X" on
Yeah.
them.
So now when you go to the cinemas, that you got to try and avoid Ultra D box,
AVX,
Ball-
40, 40X.
40X
40X.
ball busting.
3D.
You gotta avoid 3D and soon to you want to try and avoid X.
Screen X,
Whatever you do not watch a movie in X. It's
Yeah.
horrible. So that's all. You know
Luckily,
what?
my cinema doesn't have any of that.
Thank
They have
God.
AVX. That's it.
Exactly.
But they also have comfier seats.
They also have IMAX. Ish.
No, not really. Not mine. But anyway, not in my neighborhood.
Oh. Oh, you have a plan this week?
Not really.
After last week?
This
You didn't
was-
come with a plan?
Well, I know what my rage is, but it's lame.
Oh, is it as lame as last week? Because
Well, last week I don't think there ever was one, was it?
it was basically me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
well, in the
you got
end.
mad because I stepped up.
Oh yeah,
Wait,
you
hold on,
walked
I wanna
across
test
the
this.
room and
I want to test
no,
this.
see, it's written down this time. You can't distract me this time.
What's happening over here?
Anyways,
Oh,
my-
I forgot my ring.
My rage this week
People get up in the middle of a podcast.
is that I'm just old, and by the time that I was done watching the races on Saturday, I just did not have enough energy to even get to the Globe.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even think it's safe for me to drive my car there right now.
Not on a Saturday night,
And-
there wasn't.
And I'm like, even if I get there, I'm going to sit down and just fall asleep within like 5 seconds.
But you
So
would have woke up at 5 and you would have got to the last couple
maybe. But yeah, I just can't believe how unbelievably tired I was Saturday
How
night.
old
And
you are.
I took a nap Saturday afternoon so I would be alert so I could make it to the 12-hour movie marathon and, maybe not make it through the whole thing like I used to, but I'll make it through to like 2, 3, 4 in the morning. But no, that wasn't the case. I could not even. I literally didn't feel safe driving. And then my girlfriend Kim says, "Well, I could drive you, and then Jim maybe could drop you off." I'm like, "Yeah, you know what? I'm just
No,
I'm
Jim-
done.
Jim couldn't
I'm
have,
going to
'cause
bed."
Jim didn't stay for the whole night.
No, I didn't either.
So
Although
then-
Murray could have at
I was
7
close.
in the morning.
I was close.
There you go. So then, but I did watch on streaming. I watched the
One of the movies that played?
Yeah.
Night of the Living Dead or Return of the Living Dead 3?
No.
Opera?
Yes.
Opera?
You watched
Yeah.
opera?
No,
Argento.
sorry, no. I didn't watch opera. I watched opera actually not that long ago.
That was a weird one.
It is a weird one. That's
It's
one of the ones I
Argento.
would have. That's one of the
Yeah,
ones I
it
would
would've
have
been
minded
fun.
seeing,
Well, I
yeah.
only saw the last half. It made
I
no
watched
sense to me.
Vincent Price one, the Theater of Blood.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
So here, want to know a funny thing about it? So I got home because I was tired,
Yeah.
but then when I got home, I couldn't sleep. So I did the exact same thing as you. I watched Theater of Blood
There you
on
go.
streaming, and then I started watching opera, and then I fell asleep.
there you go. So yeah, but hey, at least my money was there, right? I wish I could have supported the Globe more and bought it. I should have called you and said buy a big thing of popcorn and give
Should've
it to
bought him a
someone,
hat.
and I'll pay you back.
There you go. Well,
A
I
hat
did.
or a hoodie.
yeah, I got a new hat, by the way.
Did you?
Yeah.
Actually,
you'll get to see
I
it.
don't have those cool hoodies that you bought that hoodie. I think this year, didn't you?
Mhm.
The gray one.
The gray one. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
they
wouldn't
still
mind.
have
They
them.
had them there.
Yeah, I want one of those.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to
I
go
gotta
next
get one.
time.
So, people who are listening, if you're not from Calgary, you should check out CalgaryUndergroundFilm.org because it is literally the best festival that exists in anywhere in the world.
And there is another one coming up.
Yeah, there's our documentary festivals
Docs.
coming up. Yep,
In a couple
Yes,
weeks.
I'm hoping I get to some of it.
you will.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll make you.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
So this one's going to be a tough one because actually Murray also watched this one, so he has input.
I have some input. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if
Did you watch it?
if
That's
I'm feeling better actually now that Murray watched it as well. Thank God. I am
was on
agonizing over this.
TV.
I don't want to say the name that I'm going to say because I don't want either of these gone because
They're both
these
brilliant
two
actors.
are unbelievably brilliant.
But one in this was particularly not up to his regular standard, which
I
is
would
Riz
agree.
Ahmed.
No, Riz Ahmed
Yes.
would outshined Tom Hardy.
No,
Ridiculous.
not even
Riz
close.
Ahmed absolutely was
Riz
more
Ahmed was
mesmerizing.
like bland and
You
boring.
are high right now.
I didn't even find him even in the scenes half the time.
Oh my God! What were you watching?
I was watching Venom.
That's right.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I don't
Eddie
have to
and
worry at
Venom.
all. I thought
No,
I
you
was
don't
going to
have
have
to
to worry. I thought for sure Murray was going to say Tom Hardy.
I did-
So then
I
I was
did
like,
say
thank
Tom
God,
Hardy.
because me and Jim are obviously going to say Riz Ahmed because he
No.
was super mesmerizing in this.
He wasn't
Sorry.
mesmerizing at all. in
You're
this.
Sorry,
you
I'm-
are out to lunch. Anyways,
was-
whatever.
he
Riz
was
Ahmed
like-
was absolutely more
He
mesmerizing.
was
in this movie.
walking in the park.
No,
No,
phoned-
he was.
He phoned that
He
one in.
takes the most mundane roles, and still you can't look away with this
Oh,
guy.
I looked away from him the whole movie.
You're no way.
No, I don't know. You just have some infatuation.
I
with
don't.
Riz Ahmed.
Exactly.
I looked at this completely objectively because I honestly
So
had
did
no
I.
idea. I didn't even remember this
I
movie. 'cause
wanted to.
I'm pretty
You
sure I
remember
slept
it?
through this movie the first time. So,
Possibly.
anyways, I watched it this time and stayed awake the entire time. You know what? It's not as bad a movie as
yeah,
I remember.
it's-
It's actually
yeah,
pretty
it is.
good.
It's
Well,
good.
it's got diminishing returns.
That's right.
Right? It's like first one was good, the second one was not. You know what? In rewatching the second
well,
one,
the thing is, I need to rewatch the second one because
No.
I'm pretty sure I fell
you
asleep
did-
in it
No,
too.
so the second one, I remember all of us, I think, gave it a meh.
yeah, but
in
I
rewatch
slept
on
through.
it.
I slept through a good 25 minutes of that one.
So in rewatch of this, I did not like the second one.
I'm gonna watch it again soon.
I may have to change my opinion on it, or maybe I'm just getting more.
Anyways,
jaded now.
you're out to lunch.
No, you're
Riz
out to
Ahmed
lunch.
was so good in
No,
this.
you're wrong.
I'm with Jim. Tom Hardy. Oh.
2 against 1.
Oh, I knew you were gonna be with Tom Hardy.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
You could have closed your eyes and you still would have.
So do you
Tom
see we're
Hardy.
going with the listener one this week?
Listener, what? What are we gonna?
No, that's going to be. We're talking
That's
about
in
that
the
next.
future? Okay.
do? What are we doing?
Talking about that
What's
next.
going on? What are we talking about?
All right.
Well, we'll hold off on getting a new list because we
Yeah.
got a pretty busy couple of weeks here
Alright,
coming.
good.
So, well, I'm sure Mary will find us something to watch in a bit. But no one gets removed, so that's unfortunate for Riz Ahmed.
I don't know what you guys were watching. Not the same movie.
Apparently a
I
movie
must
where
have got
Riz
a
Ahmed-
different.
Movie about
I must have
Venom.
got a.
That's
I
what
got.
was
I got a
watching.
different version of Venom apparently because the one I watched there is no.
Maybe there was
question.
different edits in it where Riz
Maybe.
Ahmed was actually trying
Maybe you
to
got the
do
Riz
something.
Ahmed edit.
Riz Ahmed is just so good in it.
He
I don't know
usually
what you're
is in
talking about.
everything except for that movie.
You're insane.
Last week on Rage or Dare, Jim did the sensible thing and chose to pull from my bag of evil remakes and sequels, where he pulled Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines, Liquid Terminators, oh yeah! This week, it's back to both our little Halloweeners who get to rage or dare. I hope they pull a scary story. Your god of rage loves him some scary stuff, kids. Okay, let's check in with Jim and see if hot Terminators who get wet can make Jim wet with rage sweat, or maybe just, cry from sadness. As long as there's moisture involved somewhere, that's all that matters.
Oh yeah, there was moisture involved. in
Really?
this. Oh yeah.
I almost watched this because I remember kind of liking it.
Yeah, so I'm a fan of T1 and T2. I'm just going to put that out there.
Yeah, who
They're
isn't?
both great sci-fi, creative, and original in their own right. But what and why did we get a third one? Yes, to this point, we did
Okay.
not have a hot Terminator
That's true.
that can make her own breasts go bigger. But let's face it, did we need that?
I don't know, maybe.
Maybe. Apparently we did. Also, adult John Connor is a terrible actor. And this is just lazy writing. How is this Terminator better than the previous liquefied Terminator dude? And it's not. There's nothing new that you can do with Arnie. Like, there's no third thing with Arnie. I mean, he was a bad guy, then he was a good guy, then he just stayed good. So every time Arnie shows up, you don't try and make a surprise like, is he going to be the good guy or the bad guy this time? It's just there's only one. You know, there's only Rocky 1 or Rocky
Yeah,
2.
but he didn't turn evil yet, right?
And this is basically now Terminator 1 or Terminator 2, and it's now just continuously Terminator 2.
I remember liking this.
So our hot lady
Yeah,
Terminator.
Nick Stahl is John Connor. I love Nick Stahl.
He's horrible in this. And
What?
our hot lady Terminator is just stealing lines from
Makes no
Arnie's
sense.
original film. Again, lazy writing.
I need
Like
to
all
watch this.
sequels, this is no exception. We have diminishing returns. In the Terminator franchise, 1 and 2 are both great, and the diminishing returns of 3 are like a complete drop-off instantly. All the jokes are copied from 1 and 2, nothing is funny or original, and it's also stupid because there would be no way of stopping this Super Terminator. No way possible. Be honest, I remember when this came out, I was not impressed. And then rewatching it, with my extreme hatred of sequels, this had me raging before I got bored. Which both happened actually in this, by the way.
I'm
the CGI
confused.
is completely horrible.
Where's
The
that
science
Nick Stahl?
behind what would happen with Terminator Lady was idiotic and dumb. Then it went from stupid to even more stupid. No surprise, they have T2 Arnie, which is what we got for his next 11 appearances in this. And we got a car chase that took 1/4 of the movie up as it takes out building after building after building. And all 10 characters are all annoying and unlikable through the entire movie. There is no story other than, I'm a Terminator and I'm here to kill John Connor and his team of friends. The story is already old by the time we get to 3. I hated just about every second of this film, except for seeing PG nudes of hot Terminator Lady and Arnie's butt.
PG, what the hell?
Yeah, all we did was get to see their butts.
Huh.
Yeah, this was probably... I remember not liking this movie when it came out originally, but rewatch on this was so completely horrible and awful. I hated every single scene of this movie. It was terrible.
And you had to pay
Really?
money to watch it.
Yeah,
That's
I had
weird.
to buy it. Now I own this piece of garbage.
I don't understand.
But I did get-
Can I borrow it?
Yeah, I'll give it to you. I've got the extra features. You can watch it.
All right.
Yeah.
I remember liking it.
Okay, well, you know what? I don't even have to
You know
dare
what?
you.
You know
I'm
what's
just
kind of
gonna
weird
let
though. In kind of looking up this, looking up Nick Stahl.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know there's a Let the Right One In TV series?
Yes.
Yes, I am
I
aware.
didn't know that.
Well, you don't watch TV, so
Yeah, exactly.
that's it.
It's a Showtime original.
Then it should be gold.
It might be.
Yeah.
HBO.
So,
I think I might.
Casey, you knocked it out of
think
the
I
park
might-
with
I
this,
think I might
knowing
watch
that
it.
I would hate this movie. Thank God I got it, because apparently Bryce would have been excited.
I think I would have enjoyed it. I remember enjoying it, but I was. How old was I? Was it 2002, 2003?
I don't know.
Something like that. I
You're
would have been
pro-
like 29, 30.
You probably slept through that one, too.
29, 28.
So,
No.
I mean, back
No,
in then you might have
this
thought Hot
whole-
Terminators was
This
a good
sleeping
thing.
through movies is a new thing. Jim.
Oh.
It is.
It's
'cause
only
you're
the last
old.
few. It's only the last few years that
'Cause you're
now I
getting
sit
old.
down and I blame the reclining,
Yeah,
chairs that they've
sure.
got now. How do
They're
you not fall
comfortable.
asleep?
They're so comfortable.
And-
See, that's why
I feel like I'm
argue.
being set up every time I go to a
That's
movie
why I argue
now.
we shouldn't go to those recliner seats. If you're not switching
Well,
around every 5
I don't
seconds.
actually have to recline. They're remaking American Gigolo. What is going on?
You know what? The World is a remake. All right, so we talked
Is
about
it a
David.
TV? It's a TV series. There's an American Gigolo TV series.
Sure, why not?
It's got John Bernthal in
You
it.
know what? Stop. Can we stop looking at this?
Yes.
All right, so we talked earlier about David, our #1 listener
Yeah.
and friends. So David actually dared us to see a movie, and I want to quote exactly what he had to say to us. He said, "Hey guys, we are loving the podcast. Keep up the great work!" Exclamation point.
Did he signal me out? No.
We'll just wait.
Single me out there.
Says we were talking about James Franco and his wide range of movies when we
Yeah, he's
found
been in
out
some crap.
he was in something we hadn't seen.
Okay.
The movie is called About Cherry from 2012.
Boat?
That's my dare. Work colleagues and I are divided on whether it was great or just the worst. And then he actually gave us a LOL too. He says, "Guys, break the tie." So for next week,
All right.
we'll be watching the James Franco 2012 film About Cherry.
My goodness, the movie poster is intriguing.
It
Isn't it?
looks like a little bit of TNA in that. Just saying.
There could be some nudity.
Oh my goodness
Which
gracious.
is kind of a Franco thing. He
Am I old
enjoys
enough
that.
to watch this?
Who doesn't enjoy
It's an
nudity?
IFC Midnight production.
Ooh, I love IFC Midnight Productions. We
got
might
Heather
get
Graham
soft-
in it, too.
we
Maybe
might-
you'll see it.
Heather Graham's always
Maybe you'll
naked.
see it on Shudder then.
All right.
Dum Tum?
Dum dum.
Dum dum.
Nice.
All right.
David, we cannot tell
It's
you.
got Dev Patel in it.
This is gonna be a Mondo.
Oh my.
Right, we don't even need to watch
It's not gonna be
it.
a rage
Yeah.
with Dev Patel.
Well, he did dare us to see it, and he gave us money, so we're gonna
you go.
watch
Oh,
it.
I'm watching it. I'm excited to watch this. I didn't even realize Dev. Oh my goodness, this trailer is just too much.
There you go.
There you
Okay,
go.
you know what?
This looks naughty.
Here's the rule of our podcast.
Bryce
we
is
can't
watching
let Bryce,
porn now.
We can't let Bryce watch porn while we're trying to do our podcast. He gets
Right.
sidetracked too often.
Exactly.
Very distracted right now.
Kidding.
Right. Well, thanks, Ragers, for listening. Extra special thanks to David, our favorite listener. Thanks to extended Film Rage family you can find in our show notes. Thanks to Casey from The Nerdy Photographer, our voice of Rage or Dare and our God of Rage. Find us everywhere on social media at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. We always want to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, and subscribe. Send us emails to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare us to see terrible movies, or maybe not terrible movies, to fuel our rage. But no matter what you do, please, 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 pretty please, 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 make us a rage. That is it for this week, Rage.
Rage on.